Hey my loves, it's me, the Goodvibes Bruja. I'm sitting outside at my altar and I was thinking of having a little story time with you guys. I'm going to tell you guys a story about myself. I'm very self-reflective, so sometimes I just like to sit and think about things that I do, right? Behaviors, triggers, and I also like to think about why do I react this way or behave like this or move like this. I like to know about me. I'm very I'm very close to me, good or bad. I know what it is to be me. So I just want to have a little story time with you guys, and I want to share with you what I learned about myself because of the situation. This is a part of my shadow work, and hopefully my experiences, my lessons and things that I've learned. When you find yourself in a similar situation, you'll have this to kind of use as a reference to maybe not make my same mistakes or not feel the way I felt or feel, or stuff like that. So okay, here we go. So when I was a kid, I was being sexually abused by my teenage next door neighbor when I was about 5-6 years old. I went to school with his little brother, so he would pick us both up, and then I would stay at their house after school till my mom got home from work, and that he would lock his brother in a closet and he would sexually abuse me. And his brother would be watching through the blinds in the closet. It was bad. And so I ended up eventually telling one of my grandmothers, who told my godmother, who told my mom. My mom, of course, was very, very upset. So here's the gag, right? So the mother of the boy who was abusing me was friends with my uncle's wife. My uncle owned the apartments that we lived in. So because I told, and the wife took sides with her friends saying no, that her son would never do anything like that, we were made to move out of the apartment and were temporarily displaced, and didn't have anywhere really to go. Because, that was the decision that, adults made. And then I found out soon after that my abuser's father was abusing him and the younger brother who I was friends with from school. The cops came and arrested me. I remember seeing it too. It was nuts. The mom found out that the dad had been sexually abusing the boys, and hence because of the things his father was doing to him, he hurt people in kind. He returned. Yes, sorry, that's another song. But I was never really mad at him because I think I was such a sensitive, empathic child. I think I knew then that there was a reason for this, and that he didn't want to hurt me, and so I forgave him. I forgave him a long time ago. I don't even think I was ever really mad at him. I was hurt. I did go through a lot of emotional changes behind that. I became a very hostile, angry kid, all the way up until I got pregnant with my son at 17, honestly. I always had a very bad temper. I would always fly off the handle, be ready to fight. But I digress. That has nothing to do with what I'm trying to tell you. So today I was thinking about my tendency to not verbalize something's wrong with me, or you've hurt me, or you did something to me. I tend to take as much as I possibly can, which is honestly a lot. And once my cup is full, then I'll tend to have a meltdown and flip the fuck out on people. But I've learned to be very passive aggressive, because I'm a very strong person. I'll tell you what's on my mind. But if I feel like what I'm going to tell you is going to hurt too many people or cause damage where it probably doesn't need to, or I tend to, even when I'm the one in pain or I've been the one, transgressed against, I tend to not tell. I tend to keep my mouth shut. And I was thinking about, why am I like this? Why, when it's not even my nature to keep my mouth shut, right? And I realized that it was because of the situation with me being sexually abused the first time. Once my mother told me that we had to move out because my uncle's wife was friends with the mom and said that I was lying and all of this, I felt personally responsible for my family not having a place to live. I felt that because I didn't just take it on the chin and I didn't, suck it up and keep my mouth shut, that I was putting my family through something very traumatic again. You know what I'm saying? It was bad enough that they had to find out I was being, abused, but now my mom is stressing about us not having a place to live, and I'm being called a liar, and, I know my mother believed me. I mean, my grandmothers believed me, everybody believed me, but not where it mattered. Now we're going to be homeless, and I felt like it was my fault. I felt like I was responsible for why my family was going to be displaced. And I think from that day forward, that taught me that I needed to suffer in silence so that nobody else got hurt, so there was no collateral damage to something that was going on with me. And so now, after thinking about it for a few hours today, I feel like I need to find balance. I need to balance that emotion, to where I'm able to say what needs to be said and ensure that other people don't get hurt in the process. Because that's not my nature, to just hurt people and step all over people's feelings. And I'm not malicious, and I'm always concerned for other people, obviously, because I'm an empath, and I can feel people's energy crazy. It's crazy. But I'm saying all this to say this: say something, because your voice deserves to be heard just like anybody else. You're not less important than anybody else. Nobody's feelings are more important than yours. Do it with love when you do say something, or when you do, have to defend yourself, or even telling somebody about themselves. There's ways to do things. I always say, you can tell me whatever you want to say. How you feel about it, with respect, and hopefully from love. Because the quickest way to get me to snap off and is to condescend and talk down to me. I'm a Leo, so I'm a very prideful person, and I don't tolerate that shit. So, but I'm patient, and I feel like it's good to deal with people from love, so you can teach them how to love you. But you have to have balance. You can't be nice all the time. You can't sugarcoat shit for people that need to be spoon-fed all the time. You can't dumb yourself down to make other people comfortable all the time. Sometimes you have to tell a motherfucker where they got you fucked up at, and it's just as simple as that. And you don't have to do it in a hurtful, spiteful, vindictive way. But be firm and let them know that you're serious and you're not going to be played with, and that's okay. It's okay to let a motherfucker know that they're not going to play with you. Respect is a two-way street. You can't keep giving respect to people who disrespect you or take your kindness for weakness. It's unhealthy. And you bottle a lot of things up, and you harbor things, and you don't let them go because you're not given a platform or a place to tell how you feel. I'm one of those people that generally, if I'm upset about something, once I've expressed to you how I feel and I know that you heard what I said, I can pretty much get over it. But when I feel like I'm being silenced and not heard and not given a chance to speak, or a conversation is always being one-sided, that frustrates the hell out of me, and it makes me angry. And I won't say nothing, and then I'll finally fucking snap, and and trust me, I've been on the zen and peace and love and light, and this is like 4 or 5 years of real self-evaluation and self-control, because I used to be the type that if you said something sideways to me, you flinch at me the wrong way. What if I'm gonna pop you upside your head? We ain't even gonna argue for too long, So I think a lot of people that knew me growing up and, my whole life, I think sometimes it trips them out, because I'm so like, oh God, just everybody calm down. I'm so chilled out now. I think they it kind of throws people off, you know, that I'm a lot more reserved. I've always been fairly quiet. I've never been a shit starter. I was a shit finisher. But confrontation's not my thing. I have anxieties and stuff like that, so I get, you know, really edge. And that's why it would just trigger me to hit people, because it was like, I got to get you to shut the fuck up, because you're just like, you got sensory overload, and it's just a lot. Anyway, again, I digress. But yeah, speak up for yourself, because you have the right to. Don't nobody have the right to back you into a corner and try to keep you there, or box you in, or make you feel invalid. Validation is for parking, not for people. You don't have to allow a motherfucker to tell you how you should feel about you. If you know who you are, and you do the self-evaluation, and you do the shadow work and self-reflection, and you've gotten to know you and your progress, because your progress and your process is yours. Can't nobody tell you shit about your process and your progress, because everybody comes with their own bag of bullshit. And some people are really judgmental and deluded and grandiose, and, you know, they think their shit don't stink, and they can put all of these expectations on you, and none on themselves. You know, people that lack self-control, trying to control you and micromanage your personality, your life, the way you do you. You never have to allow somebody to do that. You never have to be quiet. You don't have to be quiet. And that's the point of the story. Because, and the main reason is, when things happen to you, you speaking on it might keep it from happening again, or happening to somebody else. And I'm not even just talking about, you know, sexual abuse. Just sometimes people need to learn. And sometimes it's your job to be the teacher. Everybody's a teacher at some point in their life. And everybody's got something to learn. If a person thinks that they know everything, and they don't have any room to grow, and they don't need to grow up and evolve and change, they're a liability, and they're dangerous, and they lack empathy and conscience, and it's a waste. It's a waste. Nobody knows everything. Everybody has room to grow. If you're still the same person you were in middle school, that's a problem. That's a problem. That means you haven't learned shit from then till now. I hate it when people say, I'm still the same person I always was. And, well, maybe that's why you and I can't rock. Because, yeah, you're the same person. And I didn't really cut for you then. So, yeah, maybe that's a problem. But I'm proud of the progress I've made. I'm proud of the person I am. I know my mother was proud of me before she passed away. My father's proud of me. I love the me that I've become. And it's just time I started sticking up for her more, instead of allowing people to taint and poison my spirit with negativity and critique. Everybody's a critic these days. A lot of people just need to shut the fuck up and critique themselves. Like, if you're busy working on you, you don't even have time to be worried about the next person. Who has time to be worried about the next person's growth when you've got things you need to work on yourself? Like, I don't know. I don't get it. But everything's not meant for me to get. You either. So, oh God. So with that being said, I hope that all I had to say helps somebody out there that maybe has the same problem and needs to know that it's okay to defend themselves and take up for themselves and, you know, put themselves first, and you don't have to let people step all over you, and you're not responsible for everything. I love you. You are loved, beautiful, wonderful spiritual creatures. And I'm the Goodvibes Bruja, and thank you for listening. And this is Storytime, and I guess I'll see you guys next week.